Good morning and welcome to another weekly update. Excitingly, I think, barring some things I keep noticing and spotting, hopefully you'll notice that things are better now for doing weekly updates. The last couple of months have been a bit stressful in terms of not really having the right equipment and trying to carry on anyway. Mostly using my phone, which has been hilarious. But now I think we're back, and excitingly, if you're watching the video version of this, we will be able to look at the screen together again as well, which is helpful. If you're audio, you probably won't notice a lot of difference, although the levels should be better, specifically the levels with the intro and outro music and me. So that would be good. And also, we're going to jump right in the deep end because one of the stories I want to talk about today, I'm going to try and use my system audio for. So we'll see. But kind of new setup. There's lots more things I want to do, but hopefully things are better than they were. All right, let's get started. Couple of news stories to talk about. And the first of those is some new code, some new projects to look at. And it's one of those projects that Microsoft have made available to developers to use. It's a new sample. It's not actually completely new. It came out earlier this year, but I completely missed talking about it when it actually first came out, and then there was a post about it in the tech community which brought it back to my attention. Anyway, it's the ability to be able to sign for things, approve things from within a Microsoft Teams meeting. So let me share my screen. Excitingly, we can do this now. Yes, it's a new open source proof of concept type project for doing things like purchasing agreements, NDAs, or you could use it for code reviews, anywhere really where you want to do this thing where, you know, you're looking at something in a meeting with different people, and then different people can sign it and say, yep, I'm kind of agree to this. I'm happy with this. So it is a proof of concept, but actually it seems to be quite kind of well structured. You can create new documents there. There's a management process, there's a flow, there's an end-to-end workflow going on. It's designed for you to take and build, you know, either as a training tool or something that you can build in for your own projects or whatever. So the code is all there. It's all open source. You can go and download it. The link is right here. There's also a walkthrough video. It's part of the Microsoft 365 Platform Community Call, which is a great series, actually, if you're able to make them. A really good roundup of all the things that are happening in the Microsoft 365 platform world. But about 15 minutes in, if you watch from there, that's when they talk about this, and they take you through not only how to use it, but also how the code is structured as well. So if you are planning on using it, check out the video as well, because it gives you a good context for how the code is being used and the bits that make up the code and all the rest of it. So that's exciting. So that's the first thing to tell you about. New code sample you can use in your projects or as a learning tool. The next thing is a blog post I put out this morning all about Microsoft Viva Sales. Now, bear with me if you're a Microsoft developer or platform developer, Teams development platform developer, because there's a bit at the end of this that might be relevant to us as developers. But I want to put together some information about Viva Sales because it's just hit the Microsoft 365 roadmap with an expected GA date. So that's exciting. So I've kind of gone through what we know. It went into public preview over the summer. I think a lot of people missed that actually because kind of it was August time. Everyone was on holiday. Lots of people were away. So I think we kind of missed this public preview happening. But it did go into public preview over the summer. I've got some information on cost and hosting. But let's go all the way down. There's lots of getting started guides. If you want to try it today, you can do that. You can get the preview app for Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Outlook because Viva Sales works with both of those. And there's some setup guides, blah, 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 blah. This bit at the bottom, I wanted to kind of quickly talk through. So developers, I don't think, or I don't have any kind of inside knowledge, I don't feel like Viva is going to ship with a whole load of new APIs for Viva Sales, right? Mostly because if you look at what Viva Sales does, it's a way of accessing existing data. You're accessing your existing CRM data, but just in different ways and in different places, bringing it further into your workflow in Teams and Outlook. So for those reasons, I don't really feel like there's going to be lots of integration APIs out of the box. However, what might be interesting is how Viva Sales might work in the future with additional CRMs. We don't have any detail right now on how Microsoft intend to support, if they intend to support at all, how they intend to support future integrations with other CRMs. One way they might do this is to make it very easy for developers to build their own hooks into into Viva Sales. That way developers can build their own integrations into their CRM of choice or the CRMs that they own or whatever else. That would be a really smart move, I think, for Microsoft, because it takes them off the hook, if you like, from having to do all these different integrations for different things. They can just say, well, any developer can do this because here are the API hooks. The other thing that's of interest is, and I cover this in the blog post, so if you want more details, go check out the blog post, but where the Viva Sales stores its data in Dataverse, and Dataverse has its own set of APIs, web-based APIs for accessing Dataverse data. So maybe you don't need any more APIs, because maybe you can use the Dataverse APIs to get at all the data that's in Viva Sales, and maybe that would be enough to kind of create enough of an integration for different CRM systems. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see until it comes out and read all the detail about it. But that's kind of exciting, because it's potentially it's potentially a new tool for your organization, which is one thing. So you need to make sure, if you're not in sales, that's fine, but you need to make sure the people who are in sales understand what this is. You need to make sure your IT admins understand what this is, but also it's worth keeping an eye on to see what the development angle here is, what the tools are going to be like for developers, and whether that's a way that developers can help bridge that gap by having those tools available and having those APIs available. Okay, lots of things to talk about. We are behind the times. Okay, so this is a fun new one. This is a very quick one. I'm not going to spend very much time on it because it's really nothing to do with development, but Microsoft Teams has a new ringtone. The internet is wild about it, and it's a dancey remix of the classic kind of ringtone. I'm telling you, in case you haven't already heard about it, there's a whole blog post about it, about where it came from, and all the rest of it, and how to change your default ringtone. But I thought it might be quite fun to see if we can listen to it right now. So if you haven't already heard it, let's hope this works. Here we go. So this is the new ringtone that you can get today in your Microsoft Teams client. I know, right? It's not terrible. It's not entirely professional either, but it's kind of fun. It's a remix of the kind of classic one. You can get it today. There's lots of instructions in the blog post on how to set your ringtone. And as they say, happy calling. So there's that. And finally, the only other thing I want to tell you about is something else to do with Viva. And again, I don't think there's an immediate developer angle here. It's more just trying to keep up with everything that's happening and all the different integrations that are taking place. Viva Learning assignments are going to be available in Viva Connections in the app in Teams. So this is a new roadmap item. I'm a little bit unsure about when this is coming because it's got a preview and a GA date of September, which is sort of now, but maybe that's going to kind of bleed into October and maybe become something that gets talked about at Ignite. We'll have to wait and see. But if you use Viva Learning, if you have Viva Learning assignments, you can now access them, and they're going to be available soon, in the Viva Connections app. So just something to be aware of. Not sure if programmatically you can access them that way or not. Haven't really looked into kind of that side of things. There's always not enough time, and there's always far too many things going on. And it's just the way it is. All right, I'm going to try and keep it under 10 minutes. But I think that's everything interesting that's happening this week. Let me know if I've missed anything. We're going to start looking forward to Ignite and some of the other conferences that are happening. There's a Power Platform conference happening right now, which is all very exciting. But anyway, whatever it is you're doing this week, have a great one, and I will talk to you again next time.